Hey guys, it's your girl Deborah Kitchen by Faith. I hope this coming to you guys on my phone because I'm not sure if you guys be able to hear me or not. So, how are you guys doing? Hope everybody's doing great, having a great day. Everything is fine, 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 fine. Getting the glare from my glasses, right? I probably wind up taking them off. But anyway, I was talking with well my one of my girlfriends. We was talking about her relationship and her other half did some time in prison, and he's home now, and they're trying to get things, together and whatnot. And she's a Christian, and we just had a little talky talk, and I spoke on sexuality as far as heterosexual and uh, heterosexual and being gay or transgender. I talked about that sexuality, but I didn't talk about prison sexuality, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Because some people, let me take off these glasses because I'm getting glare. Um, from our conversation, made me do this topic so we can explore a little more and talk about it just a little bit more. So don't forget the thumbs up, guys. But let me go to my notes because really we talked about it maybe a week or so ago, and I just never spoke on the topic as of yet. So then I have some time, and I'm coming up here with you guys today. That's what we're going to talk about. Today's topic is about prison sexuality. Okay, prison sexuality, or prison sex, or penitentiary sex, consists of sexual relationships between prisoners or between a prisoner and a prison employee or other persons to whom prisoners have access. Since prisons are usually separated by gender, most sexual activities is with a same sex partner. Exceptions to this consist of sex during conjunctional visits, and sex with an employee of the opposite sex. Prison sexuality is an issue that has been commonly misunderstood and misrepresented due not only to taboo nature of the subject, but also because of a lack of research. The the most common kind of sexual activity in prison is consensual sex. Sexual behaviors in prison include suppression, in which an inmate chooses celibacy, or i.e., refrains from sexual activities while in prison because they want to stay loyal to their partner. Auto, or, auto eroticism, um, that's masturbation. Homosexuality, which consists of two types: consensual, true, and pretty much um, consensual situations occurs between people who have homosexual experiences for the first time in prison, and sexual violence, which includes coercion, manipulation, I guess being bullied into something that you really didn't want to do. Um, in general, prison relationships are same sex relationships because prisons are generally segregated by either all men or all females. So the question is, and we, like I said, we always take it from the streets to the church, in all that we do. We have a worldly experience and then we have a spiritual ending, pretty much. Hello, Endgame. I'm talking about prison sexuality. My question is, if your mate, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, doesn't make a difference. If your mate did time in prison and told you that he or she had a sexual encounter with the same sex, would you stay with that person? Hi, fair shake. Don't forget the thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Question is, we're talking about prison sexuality. If your other half or your significant other did some time in prison, and if your mate and told you that they had a sexual encounter in prison, would you stay with that person? That's the question. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. Do you think he or she will struggle with those feelings later on? Yes, no, maybe so. Um, Question number three. Do you think they can become the man or the woman they used to be before they were in prison? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, okay, fair shake said yes. Okay, okay. That make we have some people that make jail a habit because they can't cope, on the streets. And then you have some young adults, men or women, that get caught up with petty things and get turned out in prison. And um, some are or develop some form of mental illness that leads to destructive behavior. Um, we now know, like I knew this. This is he was a he was a young guy, young teenager. This was years ago, and he used to sell drugs, little petty drugs. And what it was, he would back then the older guys would have the younger kids be the carriers and sell the drugs because if they did time or something like that, it'd be like a little slap on the wrist or something like that there. So he was, I think, 15, 15. I think he was 15. They wind up sending him to jail. So I guess they may have put him in there with probably older dudes, not that old, but probably older, maybe in their 20s, 30s, something like that. And this, he went in as a kid, just doing little petty whatever, selling petty drugs, and he got turned out in prison. So when he came home, and up to this day, because I seen him maybe about 2 years, maybe a year ago, he has never been right ever since. He just, when he came home, he was just more standoffish. He wasn't like that. He was a good kid, but he just did little stupid things. And he was friendly. He was happy. He would crack jokes and all that. But when he came home, he was more quiet, more to himself. Um, like he would talk, like he had to talk to girls, because I guess because if he was raped in prison and they took, and his inner self probably felt that they took away his manhood, that he had to come back out on the streets and prove himself that I am a man. And even though that happened in prison, that I still can be that same dude out in these here streets. But it messed with him. I think it messed with a lot of people, that have and going through anything like that there. Um, we now know the problem. What is the solution? How can we help our loved ones when the devil or the enemy tries to control their minds and keep them mentally in bondage? I'm talking about the ones that want to be set free, because you got some people that go that get turned out, and they stay that way. They stay that way. I'm not talking about those people. I'm not talking about the people that are um, even if they went to prison and they lived a gay lifestyle in the streets, and they live a gay lifestyle now in prison. Hi, I'm Phil from Muckaway. How you doing? Um, I don't. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about straight dude, straight female that went to prison and had an encounter. Muffy, we're talking about we're talking about prison sexuality. Could you stay with your significant other, husband, wife, or whoever, if they told you that they had a sexual encounter in prison? So you may have to go back and rewind a little bit, but going forward, we know we was talking about the problem and what happens in prison and how things get down and stuff like that. So now we're talking about a solution. You know, everyday life with Kelly girls. How you doing? Yeah. So now we're talking about the solution. The question was, like I said, if your mate, husband, wife, whomever, went to prison and told you that they had a sexual encounter, same sex sexual encounter in prison, could you still be with that person? And my question was, we go back a little bit, for those that came in a little late, would you stay with him or her? Um, do you think that they would struggle with those feelings later on? And do you think they can become the man or woman that they used to be before they entered into prison? That's what we're saying as far as sexuality goes. Because some of them, like I say, some people feel that some men have been broken. So even though they was a man when they was in prison, when they came out, they was kind of mentally messed up, and they was off balance, trying to juggle being themselves, but yet those tendencies of being raped or whatever in prison is like still there, being turned out, as I would say. Um, I don't think I could stay. I'm just saying. Okay, everybody has a right to their opinion over here. Hello, lefty all around. Make sure you guys mingle and make sure you have each other. I'm using my phone, so I can't really like kind of like drop some links. I'll probably drop some links afterwards, and for y'all can mingle. But mingle. I'm talking. Um, let's see. Like I said, now we know the problem. Now we have to get to the solution. How can we help our loved ones when the evil one tries to control their minds and try to keep them mentally in bondage? I'm talking about the ones that want to be set free. But they sometimes they do come out struggling. I like 2 Corinthians 10:4 in the New King James Version. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God for pulling down strongholds, casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing down every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. Um, the biblical answer to what we're talking about as far as prison sexuality is the word stronghold is found once in the New Testament, used by Paul in a description of the Christian spiritual battle. Though we walk in flesh, we do not war against the flesh, for the weapons of our warfare are not of flesh, but divinely powerful for the destruction of the fortress, which is the stronghold. This scripture reveals the following facts about our warfare. Our battle is not planned according to the way this world fights. Our battle is not planned according to the way the world fights. Queen, is located. Oh man, I figured this here is gonna be like that. That's why I didn't want to use my this here. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to, cause this phone here acts crazy. Um, so what I'm gonna do is, let me see something. I really don't want to end it. But I might have to end it here and go on the laptop, even though I'm reading my notes. But If I have to start over, I'll start over. So I'll be right back, guys. Right back, right back. I'm gonna call it part two. But I'll be right back.